So y'all do have it, but you can't give it to me because
close your eyes to get away. Just bang my line and I'll arrange it. Beautiful girl, you stained this.
all right, y'all, so it's been a little over a year since I moved to Atlanta. So I just want to go into some specific pros and cons of Atlanta since I've been here based on my personal experience and what I've seen. Should we do pros or cons first? Okay, I'm overthinking it. The pros of living in Atlanta. All right, the first pro that I would say with living in Atlanta, the culture in Atlanta is amazing. It's like nothing I've ever experienced before. I don't know if it's because I'm from a small town in Madison, Wisconsin or what, but baby, there's just so much Black excellence, Black culture, Black success that is just like, oh my God. Oh my God. Wow. Representation is so important because it's like, if you see so many people that look like you doing well, it really sparks something in you. Like it really makes you feel more inspired to do it, and because you see yourself in them. So you're like, okay, if all these people are doing it that look like me, you know, I have a chance, like I can do it. So I literally just love that. Like when they say Atlanta is the Black Hollywood, I 100% 10 toes down agree with that. Like it's just so much Black success. And y'all, they have like so much, okay, I'm getting a little ahead of myself because I'm gonna talk about this in the next point, but there's just so many like events too, like just Black successful events going on here. But I digress. I just feel like Atlanta is enriched with so many cultures, like hairstyles. You're gonna see locks, you're gonna see the sewing girlies, you're gonna see the braid girlies. Like you're gonna see so many different hairstyles, so many different fashion looks. There's gonna be some girls that like the streetwear look. There's gonna be some girls that like the more girly look. Like so many different personalities, different foods. Like, oh my God, I went to a banging Ethiopian restaurant yesterday called Desta. Baby, so freaking good.
Oh God, it's so good.
Some of the food in Atlanta can be like whatever, but there are some good restaurants in Atlanta and Ethiopian restaurant. Like, another thing I'll mention, like a little caveat to this, there's so many successful Black businesses. Now, some of them might have went a little down after Keith Lee's review, but like even Black restaurants, there's so many Black restaurants, Black stores, Black boutiques in Atlanta that it's like, it blows my mind every time. I'm just like, I've never seen so many, like a plethora. One thing that I also will say about like Atlanta culture, and my mentor told me this before I moved here, is like in Atlanta, everybody thinks they're a celebrity. Huh? In Atlanta, everyone thinks they're a celebrity. Like there's just so many people here doing big things. They're in their bag. Everyone is a celebrity in Atlanta. Now, the second pro to living in Atlanta, there is so much to do. Y'all, there is actually so much to do in Atlanta. One thing you cannot say about Atlanta is that it's boring. If somebody says Atlanta is boring, they are lying. Don't. Atlanta literally has so much to do, and there's something for everyone. Most of festivals, fashion shows, hiking events, like whatever you can think of, Atlanta has it. Art shows, museum parties. There is High Frequency Fridays, which is like a party at the High Museum, and it is so lit. It's such a vibe. When you think about it though, that's actually kind of crazy that they have a bunch of drunk people dancing around this art. But I digress. Another thing is, even if it's not a particular event, like a festival or something like that, just on a daily basis, there's just so many different activities to do. Like Slingshot is a really cool barcade. It's an adults only barcade. So it's gonna be like a bar, and it's gonna be so many different games and like duck pin bowling and different things like that. There's Beat the Bomb. You may have seen it if you watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. They went to that, and I also went. It was so much fun. Beat the Bomb is a vibe. There's this new spot called Your Third Spot. I haven't been yet, but I've heard it's a vibe. They have like so many games. They have like little food and drinks, and it's just like, the best way to describe it is like an adult playground. It's similar to Dave & Buster's, but like I've heard it's like an elevated version. So imagine that. And when it comes to like the people that you're meeting at these places, I actually feel like it's pretty easy to meet new people in Atlanta. Like, I don't feel like the people are just like unfriendly. Like, I feel like the people in Atlanta are actually pretty friendly, where you can actually just like, you know, catch a vibe. Like if you're out and you're looking cute, a girl or a guy, they're gonna compliment you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's just like the people here are like pretty chill, and like you can just catch a vibe with people here. And there, you know, there's a whole nother side. Like there's opportunists and scammers and all that stuff. But like, I also feel like there's a lot of friendly people here that you can just meet and chill with. Like even the fact that I was living in Miami for 2 years and I made maybe like 3-4 friends. And I've lived in Atlanta now for just 1 year and I have like 10 plus friends. The third thing, Atlanta is beautiful. Like when it comes to like the scenery and the weather in Atlanta, like even right now, y'all, it's November and it's literally like 77 degrees outside. I did not have to wear a jacket today. It just felt so good. There's like a nice little breeze. Like for November, that's crazy. And even when it gets colder, like in December and January, like I've never had to wear like a huge, big, dumb, stupid coat. Like I literally can be just fine with the cute little jacket, like a cute little warm, you know, little jacket, but you don't really need a huge coat. Like the weather here is so nice in the summer. It's so beautiful. Like, that's one thing I would say. Atlanta is beautiful. Like, it really is. The fourth and final pro about Atlanta is dealing with dating. Dating can be tough in Atlanta, but I also feel like dating can be interesting in Atlanta. So what I mean by that is, even though there isn't a lot of potential in Atlanta, there's a decent amount of quality partners in Atlanta. And like even when I was saying earlier, there's just people that are like in their zone, is the best way to say it. Like I met this guy and it didn't work out, which is fine, but I don't regret it. I feel like it was a great experience. I feel like I learned a lot. And I feel like because there are so many successful Black men in America, in Atlanta, they can like really put you on. Like, I don't know. Like he was teaching me about investments and putting me on to like different podcasts to listen to, different books. I'm like, I love that. And you know, you can probably find that anywhere, but I just feel like here I met multiple Black men in particular that really put me on to different information that I didn't know before, or like different skills, different investments that I'm just like, that's dope. I love that. So I feel like even though there's not a lot, there is quality. So I don't know. Even the other day, a friend of mine literally went on the first date. He took her to your third spot after they met on a dating app, and he came with a bouquet of roses. Baby, I'm not saying, I'm just saying that don't happen very often. And you know, it can happen anywhere, but I'm just saying, like, that's good to know that there are still men like that in Atlanta. Like, there's hope. There is hope to date in Atlanta. That is the pro right there. There's hope. First con that I have for you guys, Atlanta is a networking city. Now, you're probably like, why is that a con? The reason I'm saying that this one would be a con is because it makes it kind of harder when it comes to the job market, especially if you're coming here to grow your career. It's gonna be challenging if you do not know how to network because it's such a heavy networking city. You can have a degree, you could have graduated with honors, you could have all these credentials, but they're still gonna choose someone who they know of or that they've heard of. And the more I've been here, the more I've been hearing people say, like, unless your like family's connected or unless you're a Southern Belle, it's gonna be really hard for you to break into certain industries. One thing I will say, there's a lot of corporate headquarters here. Like, I've been wanting to, you know, get into my corporate girly era, but baby, it's been so hard. So one strategy that I would suggest is really use LinkedIn to your advantage. Like, one thing I've personally done and it's gotten me an interview is like messaging multiple people on LinkedIn at the place that you want to work at. And like, just ask them questions, you know, just say you want to chat with them. And that way they can give you some insight, and they can even let you know when there's an opening, or like they might know someone who knows someone up that can, you know, put your name in those rooms that you want your name to be in. You feel me? So yeah, that I say is the first con, but it's not a con if you make it an advantage by really working on your networking skills. So take with it what you will. Another thing I'll say is like, people are open to connecting in Atlanta, but you have to be in the right room. Now, one thing my mentor from Atlanta actually told me was to join a networking group. There can be like a lot of networking groups that are like specifically designed for that. And you know, some of them might be Black young professionals, some of them might be just young professionals. Whatever the case, that is my tip for you. Pay the little $35, $40 membership fee for the whole year and join a networking group, just so that you can get introduced to the right people, be in those rooms, connect with people, learn more. There's a lot of benefits. So that's definitely one huge tip that I would have for you if you're moving to Atlanta and you're trying to get into your career bag. The second thing I will say about Atlanta is a play to pay city. Now, what I mean by that is, it's just so expensive to live here and have fun in Atlanta. Like, the social life and the overall cost of living is really expensive. Now, in this economy, everything's expensive and everywhere is gonna be expensive. But I'm just saying, even before, or like in the beginning of this like whole recession, it's just really expensive. It's crazy because I always hear the people who've lived here for a while say like, I remember the good old days when it didn't used to be all that pricey and when it didn't used to be expensive here, but now, baby, everybody moving and the economy is turning to trash, so it is what it is. My tip for this is, everywhere is not expensive. So you need to find those key spots, your go-to spots that are gonna be pretty reasonable, that you can just always go hang out with your friends and just kind of catch a vibe at, especially that's gonna have like some, you know, reasonable drink prices, because baby, they're getting a little high. So yeah, that's my tip for you. You can find some places, they're gonna be in the cutter, they're gonna be on the low key, but you can find them. The third con of living in Atlanta, I'm sorry I gotta do it to y'all, but the customer service. The customer service in Atlanta, it's very unique. Y'all, I don't know, if you know, you know. If you've seen Keith Lee's video and he talks about the customer service here, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know, when I think about Georgia, like when I first moved here, I was thinking, you know, Southern hospitality. And, you know, I'm from the Midwest. So in the Midwest, like, they're very friendly. The customer service, customer's always right. They have that motto. But here I was expecting, you know, Southern hospitality. And granted, when you're like walking around or like just casually out somewhere, there are a lot of people that are gonna like say good morning or say hello, how are you? Like, there is like some people that's gonna have like that, you know, just that nice friendliness. But when it comes to like customer service at places, y'all, it can be trash. Now, I won't say it's bad customer service everywhere, but I will say there are like a lot of places where I just had like weird instances and I'm just like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Even like just unique rules, like something might apply one day that don't be the next day. Or y'all, me and my friend literally pulled up yesterday to a restaurant that said it was open and it was closed. Drove all the way over there specifically for that restaurant. Closed. So there's gonna be stuff like that, and that's just something that I haven't really experienced. I don't know, maybe that's a thing, I don't know, but I personally haven't really experienced it until I moved here. Another example is, y'all, me and two homegirls went to this little bougie little lounge or whatever. It's like, okay, it's cute, it's a vibe. Maybe that's not that big of a deal, but this is just something I've never seen before. But she's like, you know, do you want sparkling or spring? Now, I've worked in the service industry, so I know the sparkling and spring, baby, that can add up. So I don't mind filtered. So I'm like, you know, can we just do filtered ice water? Oh no, we don't do filtered ice water at the tables. Like, that's only at the bar. So y'all do have it, but you can't give it to me because you don't want your like lounge area or whatever to look a certain way. It's like, I get it, but I don't at the same time. I don't know. The fourth thing that I will say about Atlanta, the dating scene is tough. The dating scene is tough in Atlanta. And I might do a whole separate video on this because I don't know, I like going on dates. I like, you know, being wine and dine. I like to, you know, step out. I'm in my 20s, like I'm living my best life. I'm single. I'm having fun. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. So, you know, I be going on dates. And here, baby, I stopped going on dates. I'm really taking a break from dating because of what I've experienced here in Atlanta. I feel like a lot of quality women, like, but there's like a lot of women doing well here in Atlanta. I will say that. There's a lot of successful women in Atlanta. Like, if you're driving down the street and you see like nice cars, when I look at them, 9 out of 10 times they're Black women. I love that for them. I love that for them. But I'm just saying it makes the pool a little uneven when there's like so many like, you know, successful women, or like there's just a lot of women in general. And then when it comes to like men, there's just not as much. So I just feel like dating can be really tough. And, you know, I've tried the apps, you know, just to see what's out there. Baby, I will never, ever go on Tinder again. Tinder is a no-no. But I like Hinge. You know, I like Hinge. I like the way they set it up. I like, you know, how it is with the whole like likes and the favorites and stuff like that. Or is it favorites? I don't know. But yeah, even on there, there's just like not a lot. Like, there's so many like no's. And then there's like every once in a while there's a yes. So I'm just like, it's tough. It's tough. And then it's not only that, you gotta worry about scammers. You gotta worry about bums. Like, y'all, I've had way too many stories. I've heard way too many horror stories of friends that live here that have just had some bums. Like, I'll give y'all some examples. One, my friend met this guy and they really like, you know, hit it off, started hanging out, blase. Why did she find out he was homeless? You know, after they, you know, hung out or whatever, he's there like, you know, the next day. So they hang out, you know, do breakfast and stuff like that. He's over there again and again. And so when she's like, she's finally like, cause she's super nice. Y'all don't come for her. She's super nice. But after like the third day, she's like, okay, like, you know, it's cute. Like, it's been a cute little time, but y'all know this man said, I don't have nowhere to go. I don't have nowhere else to go. Baby, I can't. And the thing about it, I feel like it like sneaks up on you. Like, y'all know what y'all doing and y'all just gone. But I digress. I have another friend who had met this guy and things were going smooth. Things always going smooth at first. Things were going so smooth at first. And then he calls her and he's like, what did he say? Oh, he said like, the room he's renting, the homeowner, whatever, they didn't pay the electricity bill. Like, he paid his half, but they didn't pay it. So now there's no electricity. And can he come over there for the night and like do his laundry and stuff until the electricity gets back? Now, y'all, I'm not knocking it. Like, I get it. Like, hard times happen. Like, things happen. But I feel like if you're not financially secure, then you shouldn't be dating. Point blank, period. Men, women, like, if you're not financially secure, you should just not be dating. Like, you should stay single and focus on you at that point. So my overall thoughts on Atlanta, I personally love it. Like, overall, I love Atlanta. I think it's such a great city to live in. I feel like this is a city that you could really grow in, grow your family in. Like, once you get in the network, or like, you know, really get into your career, get into your like company that you want to be in, I feel like you could really flourish here. You could really buy a house here for an affordable, like reasonable price. You can find good schools for your kids to go. This is definitely a city I could see myself settling down at. And overall, I think it's a great place to live. Now, there are going to be those cons, but I just think that it's worth it for me personally. But yes, that is all that I have for y'all today. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. But other than that, until next time, bye.
Close your eyes to get away.